Okay, welcome back, everybody. I hope everyone had a really good week. I'm super excited to have our second episode today because we are going to go into our medicine cabinet in the dentist office. So I want to look at some of the different remedies that we have here. Most of them going back to 19th century, turn of the century, into the 20th century. So let's walk a little bit closer. And right off the bat, I see something here with a pretty incredible story. For those of you who don't know Lydia Pinkham's vegetable compound tablets, or just the drink itself, this is one of the most famous patent medicines in American history. So Lydia Pinkham was born in 1819, and she was educated at a time that it was pretty uncommon for women to be educated. So when she created this compound, they made all kinds of claims about it that it would help, quote, painful menstruation, prolapsed uteri, inflammation and ulceration of the womb, and many other ailments, unquote. So it contained all kinds of very strange ingredients, including some stuff that people still use today in herbal and alternative medicines. And this would all have been in a 19% alcohol compound. So this product essentially blew up in the 19th century, guys. One of the reasons why is because of the very aggressive ad campaign that Lydia Pinkham and her sons underwent. So early on, they decided to use Lydia's face because they marketed this product as being a product made for women by women. Especially in these times, women typically had to go to male doctors, but they often wanted to seek out when they could, they wanted to seek out medical advice from women. So that was a huge, huge idea at the time, and it really helped sell the product, and especially when you put Lydia's face. She's got kind of this grandmother look to her. There's the stereotype of the elderly as being wiser. She looks like she knows what she's talking about, that what she has prepared and concocted can help you. But the Pinkhams, and particularly her sons, also underwent some very underhanded aggressive campaigning. In one example, her son went to Brooklyn and printed out postcards and letters in which a person was writing to her cousin and sister and talking about how great Lydia Pinkham's compound was. And they would scatter these fake postcards and letters all over cemeteries and parks in New York City. And then one of the most famous examples, and you're going to see it right here, is a picture of the Brooklyn Bridge with a banner for Lydia Pinkham's compound across it. But at no point in the history of the Brooklyn Bridge was there ever an advertisement for Lydia Pinkham's compound. This was essentially a version of false advertising and certainly kind of an underhanded tactic. But it led to this becoming a humongous product in America. And Lydia's face became one of the most well-known faces in the country. They essentially, you can say that she went viral before, our 21st century version of that word. Unfortunately, the advertising campaign evolved over time. So rather than being a product for women, made by women, has the main pitch, it ultimately ended up becoming a pitch that reinforced negative gender stereotypes. Essentially, they moved, especially when the Sons took over full time and other male advertisers took control. It became a campaign that promoted the idea of, quote, the ideal wife, unquote. And they claimed that the way to achieve this was for the wife to, quote, not be a drag upon her husband with her ailments, unquote. So that's a particularly horrifying and negative way to promote the sale of a compound that could help women. But this is one of an early examples of advertising going from one thing to the next and using negative stereotypes. But this is a very, very, very famous ingredient, and something that I'm really, really fascinated is sitting here in our museum right now. So that was kind of a long tangent there, guys, but a really, really fascinating story. Next week, we're going to look through the rest of these drawers And then I want to point out a last couple things in this exhibit. And then after that, we're going to move on to some other parts of the museum and take a look at those. So I hope everyone has a great week, and we'll see you next time.